I want to invite Wendy. I asked Wendy to come up because I know that in some ways she is purposing to live this out. I've seen it in her life, I've seen it in her heart. I didn't know her personal story before today. But I asked her if she would share, and this is just an example, just one small example. And she would say, no, I'm not doing it the way I should be doing it. There's other things I could be doing. But it's just a glimpse of beginning to say, I'm going to be a part on a personal level of helping make disciples. And so Wendy, if you would just share with us, that would be great.
Hi everybody, I'm Wendy. Most of this will not include my family, but I just wanted to share my testimony. It'll be brief, I promise. I was born and raised with a Southern Baptist mom and a military dad, so by all means I was a good girl, and I stayed that way for a long time. My mom grew up singing in the church with her sisters, and my dad was always a deacon at our church, and I was part of the youth group, and like I said, was a pretty good girl until about the end of my freshman year in high school. And a lot of the youth that I went to church with, I would see them at some of the same parties that I went to, and started drinking at that stage of my life. My parents never had alcohol in our house, they never cussed, so they were a better example of Christ than I was at that stage of my life. I was saved when I was 7, and I knew exactly what I was doing. I prayed every day of my life. And even with the drinking, I took Christ with me. I constantly prayed to him. And I thought, you know, if I saw my pastor's kids at the parties that I was going to, that I couldn't be that bad, right? Wrong. I did every drug except for heroin and crack before I was a senior in high school. And I had 3 MIPs, which are minor in possession of alcohol, by the time I was a senior in high school. And that actually continued on through college. And like I said, I always took God with me, and one day he said enough is enough. He sent a young lady into my life, and she emulated Christ. Her name was Melissa White, and she was everything that I wanted to be, which was like him. And she invited me to a ministry called Breakaway Ministries, and people on campus started jokingly calling Breakaway Ministries breakup ministries, because all these young ladies were breaking up with their boyfriends because they were teaching us that we shouldn't settle for a good man, that we should marry a godly man. At one stage in my engagement to Scott, I took my ring off and said, I don't want to marry a good man, I want to marry a godly man. And he said, you put that ring on and I will find a way to be a godly man. And he did that. He's still really good about getting us up to go to church, even if I'm tired. He's the one who pushes us. And I think that was just God reminding me when he sent Melissa into my life that he's really in control of my life and that he's in relentless pursuit of me. So if I can share that with the youth and remind them that you don't want to take the path that I took, but you want to turn and face God instead of facing the world, because I think I didn't do drugs to be rebellious against my parents. I just wanted to be cool. I wanted to fit in, and so I did things that I knew were wrong. So I took that path for about 9 years until he sent Melissa in, and she shared where I needed to be. And I was stubborn even then. I told you they were calling Breakaway Ministries breakup ministries, and I chose not to break up with the young man that I was practically living with and doing drugs with and drinking with. And I went to visit him, was on my second interview after college, about to take a job, and I wouldn't break up with him, so God made him break up with me. And that's just him reminding us again that he has something better for us. We might think that what we have right then and there is the best, but when God takes that out of your life, he's just reminding you that there is something better and that he is in that relentless pursuit. So I've spent the last 22 years since he reminded me who I belong to, working in the church in some capacity, raising my kids to hopefully not follow in that path. So my prayer is that all of those kids will know the height and depth and love of Christ, and that they won't miss out on years of blessings. Because I asked my friend Melissa, how is it fair if I stop drinking and doing drugs and living with my boyfriend, and all those other kids continue to do what we've been doing, and they get to go to heaven just like I do? And she said, Wendy, the difference is that they'll miss out on those years of blessings. And so that's my hope for all of our youth here, that they don't miss out on those years of blessings. So turn to Christ and just welcome his relentless pursuit instead of turning towards the world.
Amen.
Amen.